to video number 6 of lockdown. We've probably got one more and then a tidy up video at the end. So today we're back inside. We had a good day yesterday and nearly all the garden sculptures have gone. Today we're looking at wall pieces. So I'm starting off with a large piece here called Totara Congress. It's a piece, a symbol piece on the wall. And to show it to you properly, I'll probably have to get up. So, okay. So, that was doing my neck in. Obviously we haven't set it up on the wall for this, but we've got it here on the floor. So the piece is made up of 3 basal units. This is the piece of Totara, honeycomb Totara. It makes the base. That's representative of a landform. The tree forms, which I consider like, they look like childlike drawings of human heads. They're the ceramic pieces. They hang individually on a nail on the wall. And the brass piece, brass ring at the top, indicating the universe and everything. Because they could be trees, Totaras, or they could be heads, that's where the name Congress comes from. It's a meeting of peoples with earth below and sky above. It belongs to a group of pieces. I did this thing of chunking things into 3 and putting a universe at the top and landscape at the bottom. And I had a whole exhibition about those. This is one of the last ones left. It's been in a box for a number of years.
We have had it on it in our living room for a while because we
we
really
lived
did.
with it.
Yeah,
it was nice to live with.
Yeah.
But it has been in a box for a number of years.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have it in a box in Marikana. So what price do we put that on? About, they used to sell for $1,500 and things like that. I'm happy for $800 for a piece like that.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, and how you hang it, you basically sellotape up for a hanging plan. You mark where the holes go, put that on the wall, mark where the holes, put the nails in and the screws to hold the bits, and hang the pieces according to the instructions. It takes about 40 minutes to hang one once you figured out where you want to put it. And they're nice pieces to live with. So, and now I'm going to go on to, from here we're going to go on to talking about some smaller life drawing pieces. Hi, so we're doing the life drawing tiles. I've been going to a life drawing group up in Ponsonby for a number of years on and off, and I did a lot of life drawing at art school. I find it a good release, get line movement going. These pieces, mostly I'll take some slip clay to the group and I'll draw on newsprint. Usually the quick ones are usually the ones that are most satisfying, because clay, when you draw with clay, with liquid clay, it's very slippy and very runs beautifully. So the looser the line, the better in a way with slip trailing. And I put it on a paper, then when I get back to the studio, I roll it into a slab, add colours and things, then roll it into a slab, and it peels off and you're left with the drawing on the slab. Then with these ones, I tear the slab to make broken edges, and I call these ones stamps, and they're little figure ones. There's a seated figure with a red ring there. So these colours are probably added in the studio, and the black lines are what I did at the session, at the life drawing session. And they're $85 for these 3. This is another stamp with the broken edge.
That's number 1.
Number 1, and this is number 2. You can see the standing figure. So this would have been a 5-minute sketch with just a slip trailer onto paper and then transferred. And this is a seated figure, just with the loose lines, and then I've added the colours and the oxides and the firing. So that's number 3. So those are 3 stamps. This is a commercial tile. I would have probably done this in the studio. That's got no hanging, so it's just a tile. $30 for that one. And that, yeah, I would have taken that from a drawing rather than doing it at the session. This one's a bit more incise lines, so it was probably, I might have actually taken the clay to the session and drawn directly onto the clay and added colours in the studio. So that's number 5, so that's $85 for that one as well. These are slightly bigger ones. So this is a $100 one. It's on a terracotta tile hanging on the wall there. It's got the transfer wasn't perfect, which I quite like the way the lines I did at the session. A lot of them have not transferred onto the slab, so it's sort of got a very broken effect. It's a standing figure. This is one I've always quite liked, very Rubenesque model. And that's I've added in the studio, so that drawing would have been done on paper at the session, and then I've added glazes and colours and things in the second firing and oxides. So it's another stamp, but it's a slightly bigger one, so it's $100, number 7. Number 8's another commercial tile, so I would have just taken this from a drawing, and I've mounted it in a ceramic frame, so it hangs on can hang on the wall in the ceramic frame.
Show the back, yeah.
So that was an idea. I might investigate that further. So that's got slip. The figure's painted in slip, and then there's glaze over the top, glaze colourants. This is a modelled up one, so it's a relief. It's partially in relief. I did some of these at the session in Ponsonby, and some of them I did in the studio. I can't remember whether this was when I came back with a drawing from the session, and while it's still fresh in my head I modelled it, or whether I did it in the session, I don't know. And that hangs on a bit of a fishing trace there, stainless steel fishing trace. So that's and it's a paper clay, so probably did it in the studio. This is one I modelled up at the session. I took the soft clay in a polystyrene thing and I modelled that, quite coarse, and the sliced lines. The oxides have been rubbed into the lines, and so at the time it just would look a little bit of a mess, but then when you rub the oxides in, the lines come out in the second firing.
That's number 10.
And that's number 10, it is. So they're all $100 for those 4. This guy, number 11, he's a block, so he's a more three-dimensional, so that's number 11, so that's $150, and it's again a paper transfer onto the slab, and then the box assembled and fired, oxided and glazed. So 150 for number 11. And number 12, one of my favourites actually, very dark, probably doesn't film very well. A standing figure, arms crossed in front. Again, paper transfer, added colours in the studio, and you get all these layers and depth. It's built a little box around it. So 120 for this guy, number 12, female form. It's quite a dark, broody one. Quite like that one. So those are the life drawing stamps and quick sketches I've got available today. You're selling in a couple of galleries over the years. They're just a little snippet of time. I quite enjoy that process. Okay, so we're going to go on to a couple more wall pieces.